Welcome back, class. Let's take the second 10 here. It said Howard had been counting. Sadie says hello. Howard, he's our main character here, had been counting the days until today. It was the day of the big pet festival at his school. We know this is third person now. Somebody on the outside is looking in and telling this whole story. So the outside person doesn't know how Howard feels. And so they're going to have to be able to write that to you. It had been the big pet festival at his school. His pet snake, Sadie, so Sadie is the snake, was going to be in the festival. He gently placed Sadie in a cardboard box for this occasion. He would use it to transport Sadie to the festival because it was just the right size and would accommodate her well. Accommodate, that means that she'd fit in there, it would be a good fit for her. He could barely contain his excitement as he placed the box next to the front door. After checking to make sure that Sadie was comfortable, Howard waited for his mother to finish getting ready. As Howard and his mother were just about to leave, the doorbell rang. Howard wondered why their neighbor, Mrs. Brent, was visiting now. He hoped she would not stay and talk to his mom for long. Mrs. Brent was always nervous, and being around her made Howard nervous too. So see how it kind of snuck it in there? We know that he feels nervous because the author, the narrator, tells us. Howard decided that this was an ideal opportunity to get a glass of juice. In other words, he left the room. He headed for the kitchen, leaving his mother and Mrs. Brent talking by the door. When Howard returned from the kitchen, he peeked into Sadie's box. He could not believe it. It was empty. Then he saw a slight movement out of the corner of the eye. Sadie had slithered out of the box and was headed straight toward Mrs. Brent. She had not seen Sadie yet, so maybe Howard could do something before it was too late. He rushed forward, but not soon enough. Mrs. Brent felt something on her foot and looked down. "Oh my goodness! A snake!" she screamed. That was the best woman scream I could do, sorry. "Don't worry, Mrs. Brent. She's harmless," Howard said calmly. "Just keep still and she'll go away. She won't hurt you." Then he quickly scooped Sadie up and put her back in the box. "No snake is harmless," cried Mrs. Brent. "Did it bite me? Am I injured? Do I need to be taken to the hospital? Should we call an ambulance? Oh, I think I might faint." Howard knew that Sadie would not hurt Mrs. Brent. However, by the look on her face, he saw that her fear was genuine. So now we know how she feels. Our author puts it in there. Mrs. Brent really thought Sadie was dangerous. "Please don't worry, everything is all right," Howard's mother assured her. "Howard has everything under control. Now, Howard, please apologize to Mrs. Brent and tell her how sorry you are for that this happened." Howard was not quite sure why he should apologize, but one look at his mother told him he better do it. So in other words, he knows how his mother feels and thinks, right? You ever got that look from your mother when you're supposed to say thank you or please or I'm sorry? "I am sorry, Mrs. Brent," he said. "I think Sadie just wanted to say hello." "She wanted to say hello? How in the world does a snake say hello?" Mrs. Brent asked as she stepped closer to the door. "By curling around you," Howard thought to himself, but he decided it would be better if he didn't say that to Mrs. Brent. Smart kid. Here we can see he's pretty smart and clever and caring, because he would have said curl around her, she probably would have fainted. All right, well, I think we identified a bunch of the questions there. We're getting better at taking these tests and knowing what they're going to ask us. Number 11, who is the narrator of the passage? Is it Howard, Mrs. Brent, Howard's mother, or an outside observer? Number 12, read the sentence from the passage. He would use it to transport Sadie to the festival because it was just the right size and would accommodate her well. What does the word accommodate mean in the sentence above? Assist, display, hold, protect. All right, take a look at number 13. Why does Howard decide to get a glass of juice? Mrs. Brent dislikes Sadie, Well, we didn't know that yet. Sadie does not like visiting with neighbors. His mother wanted to talk to Miss Brent alone, or being around Mrs. Brent makes him nervous.
Hey, Dad.
14. If the passage were written from the mother's point of view, the reader would probably know that she thinks Mom's point of view. What does Mom think of the snake? Snakes are dangerous. Howard lets Sadie go on purpose. An apology will make Mrs. Brent feel better. That's why she gave the mom look. He should not have left the room when Mrs. Brent came. All right, number 15. Why does Howard stop himself from telling Mrs. Brent that snakes curl around people to say hello? He's afraid she will take Sadie away. He's afraid Sadie will bite her. He thinks snakes do not make good pets. He thinks telling her would scare her even more. Number 16. Read these sentences from the passage. Did it bite me? Am I injured? Do I need to be taken to the hospital? Should I call an ambulance? Oh, I think I'm going to faint. What does injured mean in the sentence above? Fine, hurt, scared, or worried. Remember, if you need to, you can pause the video or rewind it. Number 17. Read these sentences from the passage. Then he saw a slight movement out of the corner of his eye. Sadie had slithered out of her box and was headed straight toward Mrs. Brent. What does slithered mean in this sentence? Flew, jumped, slid, slimed. Number 18. Read the sentence from the passage. However, by the look on her face, he saw that her fear was genuine. Mrs. Brent really thought Sadie was dangerous. Which word means almost the same as genuine? Fake, harmful, painful, or real? Now, fake would be the opposite of it, so don't choose the opposite. We want the one that's the same. Number 19. If the passage were written from Mrs. Brent's point of view, the reader would probably know why she thinks snakes are harmful. Howard feels nervous around her. No, Howard would know why Howard feels, not Mrs. Brent. Howard doesn't like his neighbor. A snake says hello by curling around a person. There's only one there that she could possibly know. You're picking one she would know. And number 20. Howard was, read the sentence from the passage. Howard has everything under control. Now, Howard, please apologize to Miss Brent and tell her how sorry you are that this happened. What does apologize mean? That one's pretty easy. All right, guys. We got the 1 through 20. We're on to the essay. Remember, you're welcome to pick either one. I'm going to talk you through it on our next video.